Hey guys, welcome back to the Way UK channel. Today we've started a new series all about mental health, and today we are going to be talking about honesty, and we're actually joined by these two amazing people from Kintsugi Hope. Joel, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure, hey everyone, my name's Joel. I head up the youth and student side of Kintsugi Hope, and I'm here with my really good friend Lydia.
Hello.
Lydia does all of our youth social media on Kintsugi Hope, so we're going to be here today and we're excited for this chat.
Yeah, funny joke.
So when I was younger, I found out that I had a speech impediment and I was dyslexic. And all through my primary school years, I got bullied for those things, as well as being a Christian. So going into high school, I really didn't want to be known. I didn't want to be seen, because as people saw me, they could then bully me, and that's not good. But whilst all that was going on, I became quite lonely, and I really wanted that feeling to be loved and to be accepted. So I started doing YouTube at the age of 13, and at the age of 14, I did my first meet and greet in Leicester Square. And then from the ages of 14 to 18, I travelled around the country doing meet and greets. And that time was a lot of fun, but it really messed me up in some way. Because I'd go to these places and a couple hundred people would be screaming my name. And then I'd go on a Monday and put on that mask again of my former self, like, oh, I don't want to be seen. And I had this life where I was living these two different personalities, one on the weekend and one in the playground. And alongside that, social media started becoming my identity. It was like, this week I got 2,000 likes. That's amazing, everyone loves me. And then next week I got 1,000 likes, and I got really sad, and I got really low about it. And when I explain it to people, explain it like this. Imagine you go into your job. You're not getting paid by the work you do, by your title, by how long you do your work, but you're getting paid by the way other people like you. That's how social media is. You're not getting paid by anything else apart from how many people like you.
I had to really, find like who am I outside of me doing social media, doing TikTok and Instagram, because I have got to those moments where like one day, I'm outside of social media and my life is going amazing. But then when my life is, crumbling outside of social media, I then try to, continue to keep that standard of me being happy. But the reality is that I can't keep that standard up.
Yeah.
There was a season where I had to really step away from social media and kind of like do like a self-discovery, self-analysis, maybe even talk to some of my close friends.
Yeah, it's interesting, Joel, how early you said that you were living this double life on social media, and felt satisfaction when posts would go well, when they'd get a few thousand likes or whatever. But I find for myself, I'm generally quite honest and single-minded on social media. I don't really portray a version of myself which isn't true, but that doesn't mean that the satisfaction from likes isn't a factor anymore. I still feel happy or sad depending on how likes are. And you'd almost think that if you're your true self, it doesn't matter, because you're just posting yourself, but it's not true. Even when you post your honest self, then people are almost judging you more, because they're liking who you are.
100%. What I've found in social media, but not just social media, my whole life, is this inner critic. Now, inner critic is that voice inside your head what tells you you're not good enough. Why did you post that? Why did you say that? Nobody likes you. That outfit isn't good. It's that awful voice inside your head what never shuts up. Have you found that? How do you find the inner critic?
Yeah, I find it quite strong, like in my day-to-day life. I've grown up with a twin, so like I was always comparing myself to her. Everyone saw us as the twins, so we would like be seen as the twins. I wasn't an individual, so that would play into my inner critic as like, well, people don't want to know you as an individual. People don't want to get to know you. So that had a massive effect on like the way I viewed myself.
One of the things I find with the inner critic is the reason it's so strong is because we don't want to be seen as being different. We need to be the same as everyone else, because if we're different, people will judge us. But actually what I've found, the things that make me different are the things that make me me. And one of the ways I'm finding to actually reduce that voice is going, this is me, this is who I am, And actually I can accept that beauty out of the brokenness. I don't need to be ashamed of what's going on. I don't need to allow that inner critic to control who I am.
I think, I'm a massive, like, self-critique.
Sure.
I mean, even talking about social media, like, you're trying to live up to a perfect standard, you know, for everyone to like you, and, you know, when that fails, you know, when, as you said before, when you get 10 likes on a video or 10 likes on a post, I'm like, Kana, what did you do wrong? Like, you should have, like, smiled like this, you should have talked like this, you should have all that kind of stuff. But even when I, in real life, make a mistake, you know, when I do something wrong, you know, I really am down on myself. Even when I'm laying down on my bed, like, I'll be laying on my bed, I have the weekend off, it's a Saturday, I'm not doing nothing. But there will be this inner voice that's telling me, Kane, you have to get up, you have to go on a trip, you have to do this crazy adventure, you have to go see your friends, you have to, you know, go and do something today because you're not doing anything. I had to really be okay with, you know, it's okay for me to have a day in, like, I don't have to always go out, you know, have crazy adventures. And I think when I came to that conclusion, well, wow, I can just, you know, sit at home and not do anything, and that's okay. The Bible says, you know, there's nobody in this world that's perfect, that will all fall short of the glory of God. So I think just seeing myself the way that God sees me, and God sees me as, yes, I'm imperfect, but I'm daily trying to make, you know, that one step.
One of the things I love about the beauty out of brokenness is seen in the Bible. Paul in 2 Corinthians says this, "For we have treasures in jars of clay, to show that the surpassing power belongs to God and not to us." These jars was a household item in that time. Everyone had them. They were very cheap and they'd be used in the kitchen. They would store stuff. Because they were cheap, they were fragile. They'd always get broken, they'd get chipped, they'd have holes in them, they'd get cracked. They were made to be fragile. And Paul says we are like those jars. We are fragile. As we've gone through life, we get chipped, we pick up scars along the way. Paul says you are like the jar, that a jar shows that there's treasure in the jar. What Paul's referring to is God, hey, God's in us. And actually, our brokenness allows God to be shown. It's like me with my dyslexia, like I said, I preach. I shouldn't be able to preach. I have a speech impediment. But I get up on stage and I preach, not because I'm healed from it, I've still got it, but because actually it shows God's working, because this is something I shouldn't be able to do.